Hey there, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. One of the things that I'm convinced of is that stories that are compelling, so movies, books, shows, whatever you're into, that the stories that are the most compelling are almost always compelling, largely because they're connected to reality in some particular way. So that's kind of why when I watch a movie, I'm always seeing these fascinating bits of things like psychology, culture, history, spirituality, ethics, philosophy, etc. Not to mention storytelling elements and structural artistry that come together to make a good show hold our attention, make it speak in interesting ways. So, one of my goals for this channel is really just to be able to share that enjoyment that I get from good stories, good sci-fi and fantasy, and also get to share some of these fascinating layers that stand out to me whenever I watch something. Some of which is stuff that's actually in the movie or show as part of the design, and some of which is maybe just some kind of connection that I personally see in relation to something that's familiar to my life or something that stands out for some reason or other. But my hope is that the more we talk about these kinds of topics together, maybe you'll find yourself seeing more interesting stuff than you used to when you step into a world of fiction that you love, and maybe end up having a richer and more satisfying experience with, a richer and more satisfying connection with the stories that you love. And sometimes I think, for myself at least, it seems like having a deeper awareness of and a deeper connection with good stories, especially the really good ones, can end up actually helping you live your own story more effectively, which is one of the other goals that I have for a lot of my videos in one way or another. So anyway, so my videos tend to lean into that overlap where sci-fi or fantasy meet with psychology, philosophy, or spirituality, particularly because those are things that I think about a lot, as well as how good stories communicate, meaning within fiction, assumptions, artistic structure, stuff like that. And I tend to make videos about really whatever it is that I'm watching or whatever I'm interested in at the moment. So Star Trek, Harry Potter, Narnia, the list goes on. Sci-fi or fantasy usually. I'm thinking about starting to work my way through the classic Star Wars films, which I don't think I've really seen since I was a teenager. So that would be an interesting one for me. Another one I'm thinking about is maybe the classic Planet of the Apes series, which I also saw as a teenager and found really fascinating. Classic Doctor Who is another one that's been swimming through my head as something I might be interested in stepping into. I would probably jump in at the Tom Baker series from the 70s or 80s or whenever that was. So we'll see. Star Trek is always going to be a mainstay for me since I'm so familiar with it. That's something I've been watching since I was a kid, and I've seen really every episode from the beginning up to probably 2020 or so, at least once. Uh, so I'll definitely always be talking about Star Trek, but I enjoy dipping my toes into some of these other universes that are less familiar to me as well. So anyway, if you like my videos, I hope you'll stick around. If you want, go ahead and subscribe and tap the bell icon so you'll get notified when I make a new video. Fair warning, none of my videos are spoiler free. Actually, one of my more recent goals is that I'm trying to make most of my videos so that if you haven't seen the episode or the movie that I'm talking about, if you haven't seen it for a while, I'm trying to make it so that I've got enough summary and enough intro in there so you can still follow it, still enjoy the video. So that's one of my more recent goals, but one of the downsides is that means I'm going to have a full buffet of spoilers included. So I guess I can't please everybody. But anyway, so thanks for popping over. Hope you have a good day, and I'll catch you around.